will be the first video, and today we'll be starting the series of blind 75, where I will try to solve like 75 most asked interview questions, just for the like mostly for the front end interviews, the basic DSA which is expected from everyone. So it won't be a deep dive DSA series, but yeah, the hardly the basics one which needs to be covered at least to clear the front end, or any full stack interviews. So the first one is the balanced brackets checker. So this is a classic problem which is expected. I mean, there are many versions of it which is now evolved into, but this is the classic one which has been asked. So we'll not waste much of the time, and we'll just deep dive into it. So the problem statement is like we will be given a string, or characters of the string. It can be of this particular types, which they have already mentioned: open parenthesis, close parenthesis, square bracket, and all. And what we have to do is, based on the opening and closing, we have to return the output. So basically, we have to check if the number of open parenthesis is equal to the number of closed one, and both should match, and then we have to return true. If there is if that doesn't match, we have to return false. But also thing is, we have to also make sure that we have to also match the subset of it. So if the last open parent character is the opening bracket, then the next one should be the closing, should be the close one. We cannot mismatch the opening and closing sequence, so it has to be followed. So going to that, so we'll see the example. So this returns true, this return false. So if you see, the number of open and closing brackets are same, but the the way it is there, it is not matching the subset. So the opening square bracket is before, and yeah. So we will try it out. This is the dummy code which I ran. I will be uploading it to the GitHub, so you guys can check it out. So let's see. Let's dive into a pseudo code. So basically, we will go and decide what data structure will be used. So by the feel of it, you might have understood that the best thing to consider is a stack. Basically, we'll be maintaining. We want to know what are the parentheses which we have all in the list of string. So based on that, we can either remove it or push it. So stack seems to be a better DSA, better data structure. So create stack, and then we will we need to travel through the string. Okay, so we'll travel through the string, and then basically we will see if we have a opening parenthesis. If opening is there, then what we'll do is, then if opening is there, then let's say, then push it push and if, let's say, if so we already have a if. So let's say if else, if it is closing, then what we'll do is, so if there is a closing, we have to check whether the last pushed or last element in stack is matching with that. So we need to pop and check with stack. Okay, and if it is matches, if it doesn't matches, then return false. If and finally, if, let's say, if everything happens and if a stack is empty, basically it will be empty because we will be popping out all the opening and closing parentheses, right? So if stack is empty, we will remove it. We'll say will return false, will return true. Sorry. So yeah, so we have created a stack. Now second thing is, we need to know the parenthesis. So I will quickly go and I will copy from the list. So we have to know the pair. So oops, yeah. So yeah, so I need a pair of all the opening and closing parentheses so that we can match. So I will go, I will say this is matches to this matches to this, and then finally this matches. So the reason I am doing it, because we need to know which for which opening and for which closing it needs to be done, because we don't know, right? Because we can't explain which, like we don't have a specific difference on this opening and this opening. So if this is the opening and this is the closing for this, if this is the opening, this is the closing for it, vice versa. So now we'll traverse to the list for char in str. Yeah. So the first thing is we will check if we have opening, we have open parenthesis. So okay, sorry, my bad. I think, yeah, my bad. Yeah. So we'll check if okay, we are little out of them. Then which are, yeah, so if we have opening, so if we have opening, basically if we have this in the char, so we have to push it, right? Oops. So we'll do stack dot push. Now second thing is we will if we contain, I'll just copy the same thing. We need to check if it contains the subsequent closing tags. So if this contains the closing tag, then what we'll do is we need to pop it. But before popping it, we need to check if that particular thing is having it, is that particular parenthesis has been there in the stack. So we'll write if, we'll also check the length. So why we'll check the length if it is 0? The reason is if like if the stack length is 0, only then we will be able to return, or we will be able to okay. So we will so we will pop it. So we popped the element, and now we will check that the element which we have popped has to be the one which is there in the char. So basically we will have to, if this condition match, only then we will return false. But also there can be one more condition where we need to return false, where if the stack is empty and we have a closing stack. So what we can do in that case is we'll check the length and we'll say is equal to 0, or only then we will run it. So this will make sense when we go through code line by line. And coming to the final return statement, so let's say if okay, I will go. So if the stack dot length is equal to 0, so basically if it is 0, that means that every opening has a closing tag and it has been popped, and if there is any other elements left, that means that particular thing is not balanced. Okay, so I will just quickly save it. I have a basic check. So I have created this. I will be adding the code into all the codes into the GitHub repo. We'll be sharing it in the description. So basically what it does is it will whatever enter the pseudocode which will be provided to you. If we enter anything and we will check, we'll come to know whether it is balanced or not based on our is balanced function. So I have few examples. We can take these examples only. Yeah. So this should return us false or unbalanced. Okay. So this is returning us as not. I mean, there's two mistakes. So if you have verified it, then it could show you. So basically in for loop we have this, we only we use in when we iterate to object. So I have to use of to iterate over strings and arrays. And second is this is the first time like I am switching to code sandbox after ages. So I have, sorry guys, I have once after few videos I will get used to it, but I normally use VS Code to with the syntax and everything. So if you see, I have used return inside for, which was causing the issue, and I will just, okay, let me quickly save it. So now I think it should work. So first we'll check with the false. Okay, not balanced. Good. Now we will check with this. Okay, great, balance. So this was the basic balance brackets, and I will be hoping I will continue this series. So please keep watching, and if you like this video, then do share or do subscribe if it has helped you. Yeah, thank you guys.